Fantastic. So deep breaths, deep breaths. Shams was here last week. We had talked about my deep breaths before the show. People now know that it's a thing. And you had mentioned it's kind of like a ritual.
Yeah.
So for me, in context of this conversation that we're about to have, I used to have a football ritual, before you played a game or something
Everyone
like that.
does.
Yeah, and I'm excited to hear what yours was or still is.
I don't play anymore, but there are rituals I still have for every Sunday, but even before I start the league.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things I do still, like that's like ritualistic, that before every season I have to do to make sure that the season goes the way I want it to be. Before every morning, like you see me come out there and line the fields, like I have to do certain things a certain time, a certain way, or else it doesn't feel right.
It's the ritual, bro. You definitely have a great way of starting the season, getting everybody in. I want to touch on that aspect of the camaraderie that you bring with the league and everything like that. For me, football, like pregame, the last song I'm listening to was Freebird. Always Freebird.
It's a good choice.
By Leonard Skinner. It's like, what is he listening to? I'm listening to Freebird. That's all I'm doing. I'm going hard. I'm listening to that song. And I just remember, even like in my high school days, I used to have a shirt that I'd wear all the time and stuff like that. So Freebird, even till into the XFFL, or if I join a day tournament or anything like that, is still the track that I play before I step on a field.
Before the first round of playoffs, every time we start the first round of playoffs, in the morning, I come and I set this, and some people will notice this, some people probably don't. Only the first round, just to start the day off peaceful, I think, because I always play old school, like Motown, like Stevie Wonder, something old, smooth, everything peaceful, happy day.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, something like that. Let's everyone come in for the day and be happy. This is a happy situation. And I've done it since like the beginning, and it's something I always do. Like for the first round of playoffs.
I like that because the intensity.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy.
It gets absolutely wild, man. Absolutely wild. I've been in those playoff situations, and they're intense. And I was just watching the championship game of the season that just passed, and dude, it's so vulgar. It is so aggressive. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is all those guys still shook hands.
Yes.
Still laughed after the fact.
Yes.
And but during the game, it's no bullshit.
Oh, there's no love lost on those, in between those white lines. That's kind of like our mantra. I want you guys to come there and let it all out. A lot of people don't have that outlet. You know what I mean? There's a place there. Here you guys are. Most of you guys have been athletes or been around athletes, or at least athletically enough to where to say, I know how to conduct myself in an athletic situation. Between the lines, we can play football. We could do everything. We could talk crap. We could do whatever we want to do. Any way you want to do it. As soon as we get off the field, shake hands. To me, even in my career, any team I ran, the most important thing, at the end of the game, no matter how many points you put up on these people, no matter how disrespectful we were on the field, we always shook hands. We always made sure that we shook hands with the other team. You might not want to shake hands with us or whatever, but it's like probably the most important thing, because it shows that you guys can be as mean and disgusting on the field, but at the end of it all, it was just business. It was just football.
It's principle, it's respect, and that builds a lot of character.
Yeah.
You can see a lot from people's character if they shake their hands or not, because at the end of the day, as you just mentioned, as an athlete, 9 times out of 10, you were always told to, no matter what, just shake their hand and call it a day.
A lot of the things people forget that, from Pop Warner and Pee Wee days, like, that's what you were supposed to learn back then. Get angry, do what you want, but at the end of the day, it's still a sport, and you got to respect the sport. People got to respect the sport. You know what I mean? Respect the lineage of football and all the people who've done the things that allow you to play that sport. It's a weird line of aggression and disrespect, but we have fostered the extreme. In the extreme, we are, I call myself the king of spice. So
the king of spice.
So I'm okay with it, and we like to understand that there's a line. Everyone knows there's a line, and we've established that line.
It's a fine line. It is a fine line. It is a tight line to walk. But as you heard, we are here for episode 132 of the Middleman Podcast, featuring the man, the president of the XFFL. What did you just refer to yourself as? The king of spice?
King of spice.
The king of spice? Jada, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for being here.
How's everything, brother, man?
Phenomenal,
happy to be
bro.
Here, man. Extremely happy to be here. Happy to be part of this situation, man. Doing big things, man.
Thank you, man.
Proud of you.
I'm glad you're here. We've had this conversation about podcasting when I was just starting out. I had no cameras or anything like that.
Yep.
And, I think I asked you a couple questions because you have the real talk and you guys are in your own podcast realm as well. Just to be able to be here with you right now, 2 years later, like since I think I've played in the league, I retired early. We'll talk about that. But, from what I've learned from you and what I've seen from the league and everything else, like huge camaraderie, big brotherhood. And that's important, so it's a great judge of character. You're one hell of an energy and very personable, bro.
Man, thank you, man. I again appreciate you having me here. Like we said, we spoke about this a couple years ago, and you've been grinding it out. We've been grinding it out, and it's happy to see that we both been able to get to a point where, we're doing big things. Like I'm hearing big things, you know what I mean? And personable is one way of calling myself sometimes. I like to think that it's either you love me or you hate me, but most of the time you're gonna love me because it's all about sports, man. It's all about camaraderie, football family, enjoying the people you're around. You know what I mean, and coming out and having a good time, having a grand old time.
You know what it is you're really good at stirring a pot.
Yes.
You're extremely good at stirring a pot. And, some people probably, take that too deep to heart, man.
Yeah, but you're supposed to have something to talk about during the week. This is a league. What we do is a league, like, and like, it's not, we try to make it seem like it's our NFL. To a lot of people, it's very important.
Yeah, very much so.
Very much our NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So we treat it as such. And just like, the NFL has waiver wires, we have waiver wires. Just like the NFL has, roster limits and, times and places when you could do things and, it's fully rules, real refs, you know what I mean? This isn't just, background, whatever, backyard, whatever. This is official and like people carry it as such. And you got to come correct, man.
That they definitely do, man. You definitely got to come correct. So let's talk about the origin of the XFFL. When did it start? About like I'm seeing on your YouTube, I saw the earliest video was dated back to 6 years ago.
We started in 2018.
2018. So you said we, so multiple people?
So here's how the XFFL started without getting into too much. Me and my business partner, Chris Holland, he and I decided that we were going to start a flag football league in the area. It was just because we wanted to do something better for the league than what was being provided. We decided that we were going to do something that was a little different and give people what they wanted, per se. 2018, we started out with a lot of teams right in the middle of the Poconos, right next to the, it's funny, we call them the jail fields because they were next to Monroe County Jail.
Yeah.
Great fields. We loved playing there. But we kind of outgrew it for after a little bit. And we also kind of wanted to find a home for ourselves. You know what I mean? Because we were kept bouncing around to different places and having different fields and everything like that. But the inception of the XFFL, to answer the question, me, my guy, Chris Holland, we decided that we were going to start a league. And as of now, he's pretty much bowed out of like the whole XFFL thing. He's always part of our family. He's always going to be the reason why. I always tell everybody, he's the true reason why. I've never seen a man more dedicated to getting something done like that. He decided that no one's going to play football in Monroe County unless you rent a field from us, because we rented out every field in Monroe County.
Mm-hmm.
So so it cornered the market on flag football for that year, and that's how dedicated he was to getting it done.
So starting it out, you guys were able to rally in how many teams for your first season?
Our first season, I think we had like 14 to 16 teams. We had a lot of teams our first year.
All just like word of mouth? What was your
Well, the greatest thing about it is that there's, and showing love to Pocono Flag Football League, Tyco League, there was a very deep-rooted flag football history in the Pocono areas that a lot of people don't really know about. And we've tried to promote that and let people remember that the history is very important. There was a lot of people who previously was doing it there. So we had teams that were pretty much established. And then as we started growing and people saw what we were doing, We got teams from Jersey to come over more. We had teams coming down from farther in Pennsylvania. It was, locally, the buzz got a little bigger, and Kunkletown area, different areas were coming in and was like, yeah, we want to be part of this. Palmerton area, they were coming down, and it got to be a lot, and that was the biggest boom in flag football. Like I said, my first tournament, we were at the PPNL Center in Allentown. Wow. That was my first tournament I ever did. Was a tournament versus the Allentown All-Stars.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah,
really nice field.
Yeah, it was indoor. Thanks to the that was the Steelhawks at the time. They were the indoor arena team for Allentown.
You know what's badass about that video is I see faces that are still playing to this day.
That's the greatest thing about flag football, man.
Yeah,
like at this age, I'm 42, and I'm not at the level that I would like to play anymore. So I've retired. But man, these younger guys, they have the ability to play for years now, for years and years and years. I only got like I said, 2018 was when I started. Mm-hmm. These guys, I have kids who started at 17 right now who are playing 9-man, who are dogs.
Yeah.
Like, we got state champions, national champions. We got guys who go all across the United States and playing against some of the best competition all across the United States and win. And like, they are going to be able to do that for the next 20 years because you're not getting knocked in the head.
You're not. I mean, you're still getting beat up a little bit.
Getting beat up a little bit. But
depends on your position.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Depends on your position.
Because this is 9-man. This isn't like, what they're showing on TV. This isn't what they show, for the Olympic format, which is shout out to that. Flag football is going to be in the Olympics in 2028. So that's a great thing. You know what I mean? Flag football is the largest growing sport in the United States. And you can't deny it. It's just what it is. And, happy to be part of that growth too. But people need to get on the boat now.
With all the leagues that originally were in the Poconos, some of the further roots from the Poconos and then the XFFL emerges. What do you think was a reason why so many people what's the word I'm looking for? Gravitated towards your league? Was it the fact that it is a 9-man or?
It's I think there's a lot of reasons why people probably gravitated towards us. We are like the closest thing to playing football without putting pads on. It's a full 100-yard field. It's 9-on-9 contact. So there's a full line, offense, defense.
Yep.
You're not doing anything different than what you would be playing in a football game. You don't have pads on. You don't have pads on. You don't have a helmet on. So you're playing football in the trenches. So it's just like back, most football players when you were in high school and you had that Friday where you would get fit. You would fit up for games. You would put your jersey on, and just work your moves. But now you're really playing. Now you're really in there getting the work done. You know what I mean? So it's the closest thing to playing football without getting a helmet and shoulder pads and getting beat up like that.
I agree.
But you are still playing a lot more contact than you think. It's a lot more.
It's high level. It's high intensity. You're one of the very few leagues that actually allows stiff arming.
Yep.
Being able to push someone out of bounds, anything like that. I've played in a flag football league out here in Scranton, and it could not compare at all. I actually handed in my jersey within week 3 because it was a waste of my time. I was very disgruntled with the experience that I've gotten from the XFFL because that was my first experience of any type of flag. And it's interesting the differences between flag football and football with pads.
Yes.
Okay, the skills, everything.
It's two different skill sets.
Agreed.
You are still it very much helps that football. Like the X's and O's, time management, all that stuff. It's very important to know that for this form of 9-man flag football. But just because you're a running back when you play football, or you played it all your life, you probably will not be a good flag football player because you run straight, and that's not going to work. We need hip motion.
Yeah,
we need lateral side to side, lowering your your levels, all of that. You might have a guy who's a wide receiver who might be better at slot. He might be better at DB. You never know. Flag football, I know guys who've played soccer all their lives and come to play flag football and are like some of the best flag football players I've ever seen.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they have footwork. They adapted to it.
The Gillespie brothers, right? The Gillespie brothers, man. Yeah, those guys. Gillespie, excuse me.
I always call... I make up my own nicknames for everybody. I call people their own, whatever name I see and I think of what it is, that's what it is, and I give it to them for the rest of their life. I've been told that, like, you've been calling me the wrong name all my life, and I just let it rock because that's what you've been calling me, and that's just what it is. But no, yeah, we got like Derek DeLaba, the kid, I've known him since he was a child, pretty much, and he came into this thing before when we were in the other leagues, and he was just a soccer player, long-haired soccer player kid. Came out there with soccer cleats. Turned around, and he's one of the best we've ever had in the league.
Wow. It's amazing. It's a whole different skill set. It really
is.
is.
Like linemen still get to play. Like let's be honest. A lot of guys don't go to college to play from high school and all that. You don't get to go play. Like everybody doesn't go to go be a D1, D2, college playing football. A lot of guys, stay home and have to work. You know what I mean? Have to, and you guys are still friends. Why can't you guys still have your team out there still playing from high school, college, whatever? Put some guys in from around the town and go, chill, relax. And we have a great atmosphere. We have music playing. We got food every Sunday.
Great food. Shout out Terry.
Shout out Terry. Always, you know what I mean? Always got the good food going. And we don't bother anybody. The atmosphere is good. It's great. You know what I mean? We try to foster a place where you can come and let your issues go away for a couple hours. Because Monday through Friday or whatever your work schedule is, you got to do that. So come relax with us, man, and enjoy yourself.
That's literally all it is, man. That's what it was for me.
Yep.
As a player, being there, just being able to go out there on Sunday and have a lot of fun. And then after the fact, we go home and I'd be with those same buddies who I just played football with. And now we're chatting all day. All day about it. Arguments.
And then you're scheming all week.
Yes.
And then you're figuring out how you're going to beat this next team. And we do that, 10 weeks. That's 10 weeks. You know what I mean? And then you got to do it for fall. That's another 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And then a tournament here or there. You know what I mean? You staying active. You're staying involved with people. People checking, hey, how how many new people you meet? How many new businesses?
Tons.
How many new businesses you learn that you can, that, hey, you do electric? You know what? I've been trying to do this in my walls. Yeah, what? You do this? Oh, yeah, man, bro. You need a job? Yeah. Oh, it's happened so many times. It's one of the greatest things about for me, for doing this, is to seeing all the connections and people who would have never spoken to each other are now best of friends on a Sunday and talk crazy to each other. And you would have never thought that this person and this person would be in the same room. And I'm talking about a principal and, the worst person you might think is the worst person. And they are respecting of each other, talking crap to each other, and they love each other.
Well, you were talking about it off camera before we started that football is probably the fourth most important thing that happens on any given Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Speaking about, like I said, Chris, shout out to Chris. This is the one when I got him at, he didn't think that we should spend money on media when we first started this thing. Recording every game, having the live, having the podcast, doing all that. He was like, you're just, it's not necessary. And I fought him tooth and nail, and I said, nope, I'll do it myself. I'll spend it myself, and I'll lose money for a couple years, and I'll do that because I believed in it. And I said, we have to let people see us. People have to know what we're doing. People have to see what we're doing. You know what I mean? So how will they know if they can't see it? If I don't see it if I don't put any kind of like spice on it, it's just another thing. So I believe that making sure that people are, happy when they come there. We're not perfect. Things are going to always happen.
Things happen.
But when you come to XFFL, you can guarantee a couple things. You're going to be able to go and laugh. You're gonna play some quality football, right? Which is always good. But the most important thing is that you got around your peoples. You got around your family. You got your sister, your daughters, your sisters. I've seen grandparents. I know so many grandparents. The camaraderie. But the second most important thing is those videos. Mm-hmm. Those pictures. People want to make sure that you don't got to catch the pass. But if the picture looks good, my profile pictures is popping.
You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong.
So you got to make sure you do that. Then you got the football, man. Because, win, lose, or draw, I know a lot of guys who come out there and lose every week. But they come back. Love them. You guys are some of I love those guys because you are truly just there because you love it. And I love you for loving this so much. Mm-hmm. It makes me believe like, okay, so we are doing something like good.
You acknowledge that, and I think that is a big part. I mentioned earlier, personable. I think that's what it is because before every season starts, I remember you would bring every team in, and you would just talk about how you foresee the season going. Thank you for being here. Very appreciative of everyone basically supporting the league in order for the league to happen, because without the players submitting their team, there is no league.
There is no league.
You know?
If you guys don't believe in the fact of what I'm doing and believe that I can produce what I'm going to produce, if no one didn't believe in me in the first place, this would never happen. So I'm very much always the guy who says, thank you. It's overly a lot because I really do feel it. Thank you guys for believing in me. Thank you for believing in Mark Brown. Thank you for believing in all the board members, Jamal, all these guys. Because if you guys didn't do that, I would just be working my job.
Yeah.
Running my business, enjoying my life. You know what I mean? But because you guys do, we have this thing where it's people have created lifetime jobs through the XFFL, have changed their lives. We have guys who have created incomes simply because they have this thing. We have guys who've become champions who never would have known flag football if they didn't start here. We've got guys who go all across the world, being across the United States, everywhere, shooting videos, doing all kinds of productions, all because this little thing in the Poconos happened.
Really?
And without the people, it would never happen.
That's for real, bro.
And that's the realest thing I could say.
The primest example that I could think of offhand, just because he's a brother of mine, is Eli. Don't shoot him, man.
See?
Eli, don't shoot him.
Right now, every year, shout out to Eli, we go and we work at the world's biggest flag football tournament, which just got on the Guinness World
Record.
Shout out Charles, shout out Travis, shout out USA Flag. And, I'm was blessed to be able to become a director for them. They allowed me to bring in my XFFL Productions team, and we work with some of the best flag football players, some of the best production guys, some of the best photographers, videographers in the United States. And again, it would never have happened if we weren't videoing right here in the Poconos. It would never happen.
Well, can we expand more about this USA Flag and how you got involved in it? Because to my understanding, you're a director, which that's monumental.
Thank you.
And I'm very curious as to how that came about. Did they find you? Did you find them? Did players recommend you? Because you have a wide network of players who are extremely talented and skilled who are playing at a very high level.
This is the truth. I'm going to tell you a true story. We were in Vegas, and one of the teams that I've supported throughout the years was playing, and they got into a little tiff with another team, and it got a little out of control, and the team got kicked out from the tournament. And this is now you're in Vegas.
Yeah,
you flew all the way to Vegas, spent money, and now you're at the tournament. I was just there because we'll get into that, I guess, but I also sell flags and stuff like that at tournaments, and I do like live for streaming there. And I was just there doing that, working with Shrooms, one of our partner companies. And they were like, yo, Jada, we just got kicked out. They just did this and the third. They didn't even, I'm like, so what happened though? Like, did they explain you this? Did they do this? Did they do this? No. So I walked over. I was like, okay, I got you. Let me talk to him. Started talking to the director who was in charge of that. Didn't know who he was or whatever, that the owner of USA Flag was about 20 feet away, just watching. And because of without being too long-winded, the conversation and how I conducted myself with the other director, he was like, can I speak to you for a second? He's like, who are you? And how are you able to calm all these people down and get everyone back in playing? And you were very well to explain exactly what your point is and got everyone back to where we needed to be. How'd you do that? I'm going to explain them what it was and the situation and where we, like you said, I had a lot of players, a lot of places. And when we travel, we don't travel lightly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We make sure we're insulated. So I was able to have a conversation with him, and he was like, yo, I would like to, have a conversation with maybe if you want to be a director for us. Fast forward, at that time, it didn't work out, but like with Eli and everything, they needed to have some media done. He decided that he was going to bring us on to do media, me, Eli, and a lot of our other teams. We did media prior for the another group, the UFFL. That was the year before, where we did the entire media for their nationals. But at the end of the day, we ended up working together just pretty much because 9-man was coming through as well to be part of USA Flag.
Okay.
And they needed a 9-man director as well there. I also work well with 5-man contact as well. And like you say, I'm personable. So they had me on the stage working all the stage promotion for the pictures and videos and making sure everybody's, getting what they needed to make sure that, like I said before, everybody needs that picture. Everybody who wants that picture. You know what I mean? So making sure that you have all those moments captured, XFFL Productions, we ended up becoming one of the directors.
Yeah, man. That is awesome. That is amazing to be able to do that, man. And I think, I want to talk about how you calmed everyone down, and you have a way of doing that. Why do you think that is? Do you think, did you develop that as a skill?
I earned
it. You earned it?
I earned it, I think. And I also believe it's a skill. Like not everybody has the ability to walk into a grenade after a grenade walked off, or blew up, and just have people look at you and say, okay. And it doesn't work all the time. Trust me, I am definitely have been people who know. I've been in some situations where it's went left, and I had to calm myself down and walk away because I was going to go left myself, but I had to do better. You know what I mean? So, but it doesn't always work. But me being the person that I am, and I've been in the trenches with these guys. I still play every once in a while, and a lot of people know how I am. They just know the person I am. I wasn't just someone they didn't know when I started the league. They knew Demetri. They knew who. They knew Uncle Jada. You know what I mean?
Presence.
They knew that I wouldn't stand for certain things in general. So, earning the respect of the guys who are around me, and I believe, like I said, earning it is the most important thing. Because I can walk into us and look at a guy. Relax, bro. I got it. Chill. I'm right here. You want me? I'm right here. Because that's what the first, you've been around. You start screaming my name real fast.
Yeah. There's like 3 games going on. You're running across the field like, oh, man. Yeah.
So I'm here. Relax. What's the issue? You good? You all right? Any other questions? Refs, what you got? Are we good? Because I'm not coming back over here again. After this, y'all both done. We good. All right. Start the game.
Literally.
And that's it.
Literally how it is.
Literally how it goes.
Yeah.
Because I have no time for it. I just, at this point in time, after all these years, you know what you're going to get. And it's the sad part about it is that I will shut your game down. I'm sorry, I will.
Yeah.
I will do it because you're not listening. And grown men should listen. At this point in life, that's where I've gotten to make sure that I don't end up going crazy.
And to add to that, like if you're going to try to diffuse a situation and you're like, I got this, and the person doesn't know who you are, the people who respect you and know who you are be like, listen, bro, he's got this.
He's got it.
Chill
Give
out.
him a chance.
Exactly. So
let him figure it out.
You're
100% correct. Yeah, because that's not right. Because a lot of guys who are brand new and they try their hand and they start going crazy, and a couple guys are like, yo, chill. Don't do that. Don't do that. So yeah,
it's not the one, bro.
If he's not the one. Don't because he'll just relax.
So let's reflect on you as a player, man. Let's reflect on you as a player. Let me know about Finn Jada, bro. The Finns, Jada, Prez. I know the Finns is kind of like a bad term within the league, depending on who you speak to.
Yes.
So tell me about your playing days. Was that the first team that you originally created?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. My first team I created and came into flag football was Team Dab. DAB. Okay. That's when kids were dabbing and all that, doing all that. And one of my little compadres was like, yo, listen, there's a league down the corner. They're playing this 9-man thing, flag football. I went there the other day and it's awesome. We need to put a team in there. And at the time, I was just trying to we would play on Sundays at this park, not flag football. We would just play like rough touch. We just come out and hang out. And he was like, yo, let's just put the team in the league. And he was like, it's $100. I was like, here, take it, let's go. And then I showed up that day to play in that league, and I was God-smacked. Just like, and I fell in love. It was love at first sight. I couldn't believe that this was happening in my town for all these, because shout out George Papadopoulos. I say it like that because that's his name. He was asking me to play flag football with him for years, and we played basketball at the YMCA. And he asked every year. And I'm like, I'm not playing flag football. Who plays flag football? You bugging? I played football. And Benny was like, let's play. I just was like, okay, let's do it. And I went back there and I fell in love. Team Dab. Played for Team Dab for two to three seasons. Don't quote me. And then we got into the biggest brawl in flag football in this area. Two fields of people fighting. Not me, but both of our teams.
World Star.
It got pretty bad that
wow.
day. It wasn't in my league. It was at the other league.
Uh-huh.
But we got kicked out of that league.
Oof.
My team got kicked out of that league. And Chris Holland, his team got kicked out. It was against our team, me and my business partner.
Oh, well, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best friend, man. Best friend. Gets kicked out. We get kicked out, and we decide, you know what? We're going to start a league. Let's do it. I can't play on your team, though, bro. I'm good. He is the original owner of the Finns. He is. Chris Holland is the original owner of the Finns.
And the mic has dropped.
Everyone I will always give the credit to him. He is the original owner of the Finns. He is the mastermind. See, I hate saying it.
Because the Finns is like, for those of you who don't understand, the Finns is like one of the like.
It's like Darth Vader.
It's like the 92
evil
Bulls, bro.
Yeah,
like that's like that's what it is, bro. It was like a dream team, or that's how they present it. I've never seen the Finns play live in action. It's like a piece of history that you had to be there for. It was
a thing of beauty. I gotta thank, like I said, it was his idea, and everyone gives me crap about it because they say, well, he was the one that got you to come over because I was a Warhawk.
Yeah,
for a lot of years.
And that team's still around,
and that team is still around till this day.
Yeah,
and I told George to let me I need to get my hand in some things, George. I need to cut some players. We gotta get rid of the fat and let me get the hired hitters. He was like, no. I was like, well, I'm taking my defense and I'm leaving. Joined the Finns. Me and Chris, it was unfair the fact that me and him were a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
There was no chance for everybody else. We took every player that we could. We had the nicest uniforms. We had flags before people had flags, custom flags. We had custom uniforms and all that. Shout out Uline. They were the first one with compressions, but we took it to another level. We had it all. Shout out to the Bullies. They also had it popping too with the uniforms. I'm going to give everybody their credit. But no, then that's how I became a Finn. Once I became a Finn, Chris pretty much handed me the keys and was like, go be great. And I recruited everybody I could. I had bad seasons. It wasn't, people act like, it was just all gravy. I have my white jersey season that I say it never existed.
Your white jersey season?
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite season, my favorite jerseys that I ever made
was the Miami Vice white.
Miami Vice white ices.
Yeah. Those are fire. Yeah.
Beautiful. I went 6 and whatever and lost twice to one of my best friends, Jamal, and like he won a championship that year. And lifetime. The Finns were 77-11.
Wow. 77-11. Shit.
So that just says something. And we lost like 6 games in one season, 5 to 6 games in one season. So I think we might have won more than that, but like we ended up only losing like, Chris would always say it. We only ended up losing like 11 games in our career.
Wow.
So 2 championships. And it was the heyday of flag football back then too. Everyone was playing, everyone was traveling from everywhere. And shout out to the Warhawks. Warhawks to this day. I say it, the Warhawks are the best team in XFFL history. It is not the Finns. Longevity, Warhawks get it. They've been doing it for so much longer than the Finns did it. Yes, we had our moment. I'm proud of my moment. But just like, LeBron James, you can be Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, it all depends on your generation. You know what I mean? I think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron.
Oh man! Shout out to Warhawks. I know there's a running joke within the league, which is "fuck Mark Brown." I believe he is the owner. I
have a hoodie that says it. I think I'm wearing my Blame Jada shirt. Blame Jada and fuck Mark Brown. Those are the trademarks. But the fuck Mark Brown is really a real thing. People break down their huddles to fuck Mark Brown. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think it's because of the animosity that the Warhawks get because of like how great of a team they usually put in every year?
Yeah. Yes. And it's a bunch of old white dudes for the most part. That's what people bought. It's like, nothing against old white dudes, but like, we're playing a pretty athletic sport, but these guys are really athletic and they really play the game. And that's why I said it's not just about football. It's about X's and O's and knowing the game and knowing flag football, when to do certain things. And they have mastered it. If you don't come correct, they'll beat you every time.
Old school versus new school. That's something that you said.
That's exactly what it is right now. There's a new regime, man. These youth kids, fast as hiccups. They got that lateral. They're just crazy. Shout out Juju. Shout out the Chosen Ones. Shout out these guys. Shout out Strictly Business. All these young guys coming out. Changing the game. I don't like it.
Really?
There's no D lineman. There's no real O-line D lineman play. Like back when I was playing, like we had centers, D lineman.
Bro, there was something in the water back then that you guys had that we didn't. Come on, you see the generations coming up, bro. I lined up against you at one point, man. Like, come on.
I know.
I think that's just the way that the world is going. But
I don't see this size. I don't see that. It's just we got guys playing defensive end at 130, 40 pounds, getting sacks. Because he's beating guys with speed and hand motion, which is, like I said, you could be a DB in college and come down here and play some linebacker or play D lineman on the weak side linebacker or something like that because you can chase down somebody. Maybe you have great hand-to-eye coordination, but you really can't catch or do anything. You might be a great blitzing linebacker in flag football. You never know.
So what don't you like about it? You just don't like...
I don't like the fact that there's just guys just making people miss. There's no contain. And I'm a football guy.
You want to see a good competitive game instead of a blowout.
I want to see a good competitive game, not a blowout. I want to see a guy play nose tackle who is going to rush the A-gap, shed him, and keep that speedy bastard right there. I needed my defensive end, my contained end, to shuttle down. I need my go guy, my killer DN, to make sure that he doesn't get comfortable and sends him back that way no matter what. I need my linebackers, right, to keep him honest. But guys, in my opinion, aren't really the X and O guys anymore. I don't think they don't really pay attention to the game itself, the football of football, because you still got to know how to play cover two. You still got to know how to play man correctly, containing, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I love this version of flag football, because you're still
X's and O's. It's all fundamentals.
It is core fundamentals.
Yes.
Just control your A-gap. If you have a guy who's a running guy, you want to extend this. I mean, but not everybody's played football or played, but those are core fundamentals that you can come learn in a league environment. You're not just, part of just like, just complete a tournament and leave that day. You can work on your skills. You can work on your off season to come have a better season. And guys have been doing it for years. I know guys who strictly work out and get ready for the flag football season.
It was a rude awakening for me when I first joined, thinking that my skill set would transfer over extremely well. It was a whole different thing. Me personally, I was a lineman who would shoot and run up the field, like right when a ball snapped, offensive line, right? I had to learn through the XFFL. It was a lot of like waiting and catching and making sure you could get a pocket and just turning them a little bit.
Giving your quarterback the opportunity to have more than 3 seconds. Back when Finland was a thing, when the Finns were a thing, we always said if you had more than 3 seconds to throw a football, you were blessed. Like we were giving you 3 seconds or less, because after that, things can break down. But if we can run our plays and make sure that we collapse that pocket on you within that 3 seconds, there's not much that you can do besides throw up duck if we are running our D linemen correctly.
And so when was the last time that you played? What was the last season that you fully committed? Because I know you still pop out every now and then.
Okay, so I'm retired from the league, and I was put into the Hall of Fame. I got nominated. I didn't put myself. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. I got put in the Hall of Fame last season, the beginning of the season.
Really nice jacket you got there.
Yep.
Dope as fuck.
Yep. Hall of Famers get jackets here. Like I said, it's
legitimate.
It's just like the NFL as much as we can do it. But with our twist. Last time I played in the league was probably 2 years ago. Two full years ago. Haven't played in the league. But I play in tournaments every so often. I play in the Rhode Island 9-man tournament every year. That's the only tournament, like 9-man tournament that I play in. Because, I love to support my man Jamie. Shout out to 9-man community. And I still like to get that like out every year.
Yeah.
But I'll occasionally play in like a local tournament here and there. If guys need a guy, if somebody asks me and I want to play, I'll play. I suffer for it every time after because I still have a finger injury from like 3 months ago.
So I've heard.
Yeah, bro, it's just it's crazy.
You can't straighten out your pinky or something, right?
Look, it doesn't. And this was months ago, and you know, you don't heal like you used to as you get older.
Yes.
So you know, I was helping my dad move the other day. My back hurts right now. Yeah. So yeah, like I just try to stay active. I'm not as in it as I used to, but I try to stay at the tournaments so people still see me, still know I'm out there.
Yeah.
Still always with the flags and everything. Speaking of which, hold on, wait. I forgot. I brought you some flags.
Oh, dude, awesome.
These are some XFFL flags. Has every brand that we've ever had in the company.
Wow.
Shout out Jamal. Wow. Shout out VPP Productions. Shout out Eli. Don't shoot him. You know what I mean? XFFL Albany. All these things, man.
That is
Gang
awesome.
Gang TV. VPP Productions. These are all little subsidiaries of the XFFL. These little companies that have started. Shout out Chris Uresco. Shout out, you know what I mean? Shrooms.
Did you ever see it growing to what it is now?
It was never supposed to be this. It was always just supposed to be, give me that money, and I bet you I'll give you guys something better.
Yeah.
That was it. It was just like, I promise you I can do better than this. That was it. And because of that, I was given an opportunity. Because of that, I saw people's, a lot of people had a lot of
these are dope. Thank you.
No problem, man. A lot of people had hidden talents that they didn't know about or didn't feel like they can express or get out, that I promise you that because, we did it together, they're out there. Shout out, like I said, can't do this thing without Mark Brown. Mark Brown, my vice president, yeah. He's out there doing live streaming, VPP Productions. He's out there going everywhere. He's selling flags, doing everything. Getting the XFL name out there. He was the first guy on the flag football circuit shouting our name, getting people to play. So, shout out to him. Shout out to Jamal White, man. Jamal Sports. Been having guys dipped in beautiful, made these hoodies for us. You know what I mean? He's been doing athletic sportswear, of all kinds of sportswear, all kinds of actually, clothing. All because we started this and people believed in him for that. So he was able to expand.
The uniforms is another aspect of the game that a lot of people appreciate. Fully customizable. You can talk to your team captain. You guys pay for them, but it's always worth the buck. I've had a number of jerseys like the Savages, the Crooks, the Stampede. I know I'm missing one more, but I was looking for my jerseys because I wanted to wear one today. And I put my Stampede on one. And holy hell, man. I was told I got fat the other day and I felt it. I was like, shit, dude. I'm like, this shit is really tight, man. It's really tight. But my hands down, all around favorite jersey that I've had was the Crooks one. Nice. The reason why was because
shout out Tyler.
Yes, Tyler. And Frank.
Frank there, yeah.
We had these masks that we would pull over our face.
Yeah.
I remember it was fucking dope.
Built-in masks with the hoodie, full compression, or if you wanted the jersey one, if you wanted football one. Shorts or compression shorts. Like a lot of people didn't, know about these things until we kind of brought it out there and put it out there for people. And we're proud of it. You know what I mean? We're really proud of the fact that in our area, we were able to expand something and show people this is pretty cool. This is how you do it. We've seen a lot of people start their own different things just because of that. We love that.
So, years go by and you're bouncing around. You mentioned you bounce around from field to field to field, and then you eventually got your home, which is located in Bangor, correct?
We are in beautiful East Bangor Park.
And how did you go about securing that space to be the home of the XFFL? And when you guys made that move, how did that make you feel to finally have your own space?
That's what it felt like, man. A place where I can call home. And they weren't going to say, hey, there's Pickle Fest this week. We can't have you here because there's parking and we need the space for parking. That's a real thing that happened. I got called on a Wednesday saying, hey, we're not going to be able to let you use the field on Sunday because of Pickle Fest.
Oh, my.
And I'm like, so I just have to tell 700 people that they can't.
Stroudsburg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They do that Pickle Fest on Main Street.
Yeah. And because it's a long story.
Never been, but
the parking gets crazy, and they didn't want to because we have a lot of people that come on a Sunday.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So it's like they're parking, whenever it becomes a problem. Didn't want to ever have to hear that anymore. But how I secured it was, it's weird how things do happen. They happen naturally and whatever. We couldn't use the field for Pickle Fest. And Mark Brown was like, yo, call this field over here in my town. We might be able to use the baseball field. And I was like, okay. I called the lady at the recreation. I get this recording, like as if like an old school, like tape recording.
Yeah.
And like I leave a message. Never got a call back. 7:30 at night, like a day after, I get the call. I pick up a phone call, and it's a little old lady, sweetest lady, Bonnie. And she's like, hey, you were calling about using the field? I'm like, yeah, it's her home. She works out of her home. Like,
wow.
She works in like the recreation building is in the house, in her house. And
Okay.
she was like, yeah, you guys, I'll meet you over there. We'll figure it out. No problem. I get to the field for the first time and I look at the baseball field, and the baseball field is great. It's beautiful. But I look to the right and I see a football goalpost, but it's it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's leaning. And I just be nosy and I walk back there and I see there's two goalposts. One's fine and the other one's broken, but there's probably 8 feet of overgrown everything, jungle everywhere. But I'm like, this had to have been a football field at one point in time. Mm-hmm. There's a concession stand, there's lights, there's an old, table, there's all kinds of stuff that's there. I asked Bonnie, hey, we'll use the field for football that day. Cool. But what's going on back here?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, it's just abandoned. I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. What if I personally cleared all of that, got it all back to ship shape and work? Do you think I'll be able to use that field and like we could work out a lease agreement to where I can pretty much own that field and that'll be my field? So like, I think we can figure something out. It's not anyone else's. No one's using it anymore. We can probably work something out with us. Without getting too deep into it, had a conversation with the board, had a conversation with the people back there, and we pretty much leased to own that field now.
Wow. We lease to own.
Yeah, man.
So you will own it.
Eventually.
Wow.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna happen tomorrow or whatever.
Sometime.
I wish hopefully we get some grants or something to get something possibly going.
But I mean, given your business is
shout out my man Chris. Yeah, we do lawns and stuff like that. Well, we actually don't do lawns and stuff like that anymore. We do like hardscaping and like backyard remodelings and walkways and patios and such like that. But we have the equipment to be able to maintain the football field ourselves and bring in dirt and grade it and seed it and hay it. And so like one thing we kind of like, one of our claims to fame is we don't cancel for rain, which I did cancel for rain. So when you guys see this, you guys are going to run like, no, you do cancel for rain.
It's a good thing we're not live right now, bro. Because if we were,
they would fry me right now.
When you were talking about the X's and O's, bro, they would have been tearing it up, bro. I know that for a fact.
Exactly. But yeah, I did cancel for rain once because the field was immaculate and we only had one more week to go. And I was like, I'm not going to waste it. You guys will be fine. Sorry. But we did, but normally we don't. And we will go out there. We would have mud bowl 10. It would be 12 foot of water.
Yep.
And you will be out there playing. Everyone's going to play. And I'm the guy who's responsible for making that field look good again.
Yep.
But let that had been in town. They're not going to let me do that because someone else has to use that field. Me being able to do that, I can now go to my yard, grab a couple yards of, fill dirt, fill that back in. Have Casey, shout out Casey, bring me 20 bales of hay, make it nice and dry a little bit better, and have everybody play.
Casey, the one with the red helmet?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Casey. Shout out Casey. Yo, him and I have had some fucking wars.
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is, like I said, Casey owns a horse farm, and his family own a horse farm. So when I need hay, and I'm talking about for my company as well. When I need hay, I call Casey. Because why would I call somebody from I don't know to give money to when I can give my money to a guy who's in my league who supports me?
Him and I have had wars, brother.
Like everyone loves Casey. Casey is probably one of the reasons why we still, not reasons why we still do it. He's the spirit for me of guys why we do it. He loves this shit.
He does.
Like, not being crazy, he would die for it because he's actually went to the hospital for this shit and been in a really bad situation for this and has come back and decided that he's not going to stop playing and he's going to play I made him have to sign all kinds of waivers because you're not gonna, but he's like, yeah, I'll be fine. I've spoken to this man's mother. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
We've had those conversations because this is what makes him happy. This is what he actually loves to do. He gets upset when he has to like not have a season off. He'll play year round if you let him.
Yeah.
So he's the kind of guy, like I always say, you don't got to be the 99 guy overall. You could be whatever and still be and love this thing and be here. And you're going to be one of us. I say it a lot. Once you're here, you're one of us.
You really are. You really are. I mean,
we're going to make fun of you.
Yep.
We're going to tell you when you did a good job.
Yep.
We're going to tell you when you got better.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to say you was ass, but you did, you getting better, bro.
Yes.
That's exactly how it's going to go. Like, yo, bro, you was really ass like 2 years ago, but I see you now. It's never no hate. Because if you ask, we're going to say we got a Bump Scare of the Year award. We keep it real.
Yeah.
Like, if you was really, and that can go to anybody. That can go to a team. That can go to somebody's aunt. That can go, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
It can go anywhere it wants to go, wherever where the captains want to vote that to go to. You could be the bum. We've given it to a whole team. Your whole team was just ass. Sorry. Like, here's your award.
Let's get into tea time real quick. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. Because I want to continue the conversation. So cheers to tea time. Here we go. Some ASMR. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Cheers.
All right, so
you can't go wrong with the classic raspberry. Though.
Is that your go-to flavor?
It has to be. Has to be.
That. What are you having with raspberry Arizona iced tea?
What you say?
What are you having if you were at a gas station? You're picking that up. What are you picking up with it? Any gas station, bro. Could have a deli.
You see, you have to understand. I'm a gas station connoisseur.
Oh,
being outside and being in construction, that's like our restaurants. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, I get it, bro.
I'm going to say it out loud and people are going to probably like, whatever. 7-Eleven pizza is pretty damn good. It might be a hot take. Probably a hot take.
That's the hottest take. Ring that bell one time for me, please. That's a hot fucking take. Holy shit.
Try it in a pinch when you're hungry. Yeah. You won't be disappointed. Make sure it's a little bit crispy though. Don't get the way it's all soggy. See, that's what I'm saying. Gas station connoisseur. As I've gotten older, I stay away from those things because I don't like it. Yeah, my body doesn't like it. But there's certain things you get from a gas station that will get you through. And then it's pretty dead. I'm like, oh shit, this wasn't bad. I'm not saying it's New York City, New Jersey pizza. Relax. But let's not ever act like we didn't love, Friday school pizza.
Yeah, I did. Here, pick a question out of there for me, please, and pass me the paper, and we'll see what today's question of the day is. Michael, is it your day? What do you think? Let me get your thoughts. No, you're saying no? Okay. And it is not your day, Michael. So the question of the day, the tea time question of the day is, who's the most influential person in your life? Question mark.
My daddy.
Your dad?
My dad. Okay. My father, most influential person in my life. Till this day, my dad still comes to games. He comes to there pretty much at most Sundays. He's there. Even when I played, my father would come, but he wouldn't be the person who was on my sideline like, "Oh, good job, son." Like, "Yo, you did a really good job." He would be the guy on the team that
going against you.
That was going against me, or he would be over like helping out some like really bad team trying to get good. Because he expected it from me. That's what he always would say. He's like, I expect you to be from me. What do you expect? Are you supposed to be ass? This is what you've been doing. So you don't need me over here like tooting your horn. And that's always how he's been with me all through life. I guess he pretty much knew that I had a big enough head of my own.
He's like, I didn't need to gas it up.
I didn't need to gas this kid up. He had enough confidence enough. And I never had to be like, oh, well, I got to prove it to him. No. It was like, okay, I see you. I'm good. He's like, you're doing your job. Keep doing your job. Because if you don't do your job, I'm going to let you know about it too. Because, it's not going to be funny because I'm going to make fun of you too. Because my dad's the first person to start like, just like me, he will cut your ass.
You guys probably have the same personality.
No.
Okay.
No and yes. I am just a lot like my father, but I'm way more outgoing. I got that from my mother. My dad might my dad might be in a room and he might say 5 words. I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah. With your megaphone, too.
With a megaphone, exactly. That's my mom. But no, my dad, definitely the most influential. He showed me what it meant to be a man. In my opinion, he showed me what it meant to be stand up, do the right things. He's always a man about the elderly. He's always about the kids. You know what I mean? He loved kids, loved the elderly, and kids can do no wrong in his eyes. If the elderly needed something, we all have our ways. He's grumpy, he's whatever, and all those other things. But he's my most influential person, and definitely in my life, and showed me that no matter what, just be a man about it. That's about it.
I like that. No matter what, just be a man about it.
Just be a man about it. A lot of things would be fixed in life if you stop and say, "Am I being a man about this right now? Am I looking at myself and saying, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I could think about this differently. Is there an angle that I haven't seen on this?" That's what being a man is at the end of the day sometimes.
For me, the most influential person has to be my mother, because that's all I had growing up. She pulled her weight with 3 boys, and she showed us how to just survive, essentially, and to be positive. I mean, now as an adult, knowing what it takes to pay bills and stuff like that,
you don't realize until you get older. That's what they say. You'll get it when you get older. That's what they say.
Yeah, and you really do. Like I've seen conversations that my mom's had with her friends about certain situations, and I'm like, damn, I really hope that I'm never in that position, because I don't want to be in that position that she was in. But she had to do what she had to talk to friends about, hey, could you help me with this? Because she was a single mother with 3 boys, so.
But she did it. She got it done. Yes. That's all that matters.
And,
getting the job done.
Back to that man aspect of it, it's funny you're saying that. One of the most influential things that I've ever heard in my life was, if you got time to be a man at night, you got time to be a man in the day. And I was like, holy shit. I've heard that at like 17 or 18. At my first big boy job as an HVAC technician. And the one guy, Sammy, told me that. Yep. And
old heads, us OGs.
Yeah.
We have a couple dimes for you every once in a while. We've been down the road. And as I've gotten older, I've realized, I'm like, oh, wow. I say a lot of old head shit. Like, yo, bro, I've been there before. Don't do that, bro. Nah. That's going to get you 5 to 10. Relax.
Here, look, you want to hear this one final quote, and then we'll get away from tea time. But I heard this quote this week. I want to know if you've heard it. You're an old head. Maybe it's an old head saying, I don't know. But it goes like this. A foolish man complains about the hole in his pocket. A rich man uses it to scratch his balls.
I've never heard that, but I get it. I understand it.
And shout out Jameson. That is all you, man. He said, good morning. Happy Monday. Go obtain that grain. So with that being said, everyone, thank you for tuning into Tea Time. Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea.
Have you ever been to Arizona land?
I have not. In
Jersey?
No, I have not. I
haven't either, but you should definitely go.
That should be a vlog.
You should definitely go there. You're doing your thing. So
yes,
you should go there. It's a pretty cool place I've seen on the internet.
I'm gonna have to do it. That's maybe a summer activity. Most definitely. I'm down to do that. So I want to talk about some of these tournaments that you coordinate in the off season, because there is an off season, but you're not gone the entire time. You're doing other things. And one of the tournaments that I've had the pleasure of competing in, and it was a lot of fun, was Midnight Madness. Midnight Madness.
Everybody loves Midnight Madness, man. Yeah. We call it the XFFL tournaments series. We have a certain amount of tournaments that we do during our off season. Because we have a spring and a fall regular season. And then once it gets cold, we go indoors. We have the Winter Classic. Sometimes we have a turkey bowl before it gets too cold.
Yep.
And then in January is when the Worlds of Flag Football. So all of the best competitors and all of us go to Florida and Tampa, and we have Worlds. And that's Martin Luther King weekend. So everyone's in warm weather for that. Then we come back, and we set it off with Midnight Madness. That's pretty much letting everybody know flag football is about to come back. You guys ready? Because it's 4 months between regular seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Between the spring and the winter. I mean, winter and spring season. We call it the long off season. The long off season. Because a lot of things happen in these off seasons. Your teams get decimated.
Oh my, dude, like back to stirring the pot, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
You're live. The real talks. You invite players. You invite owners.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because you know things and you are just trying to find out the truth from that person. So like, for example, like I know there was some guy talking about like, oh, are you gonna be back on the Reapers or something, or the Outsiders? It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be back. And then like towards the end of the conversation, he's like, okay, so this is really what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I heard that.
But I did hear that you was about to, So is you telling me he's lying?
Exactly, bro.
All I'm here to do is try to find the truth.
And people bite and
we keeping it real,
bro.
Because all I'm trying to do is keep it real.
Like what?
Don't get mad at me. If you're gonna get mad at somebody, be mad at the person I heard it from. I'm not gonna tell you where I heard it from. And if I'm not telling the truth, then I apologize. But am I wrong? Because if I find out that it's right, you gonna look stupid.
Yep.
So you got it after years and years of doing it. And shout out to Terry, shout out to Keith and all the guys that we do it with, and that Gang TV, all of our guys that come on. You learn how to push the buttons. I've come to master it a little bit better than most.
With a smile on your face.
With a smile,
too.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, because I get joy out of it. I do. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. I get joy out of these guys who I've been doing this for I've been doing it longer than you guys.
He's the king of spice.
I have shout out to my man Al. He always says the spin master. I'll spin it. I'll find a way to spin it to make it work. Because I've been doing it and I've seen it all. So I love getting these guys in these positions. And they're like, well, I have to say something. I've had guys come on after their team has said, yo, you cannot come on Real Talk. I've had teams mandate no player is allowed on Real Talk. I've done, and then the guy come on Real Talk and he get yelled at, like kicked out the chat. Like, you can't be on our team because you came on Real Talk.
It's crazy, man. It is crazy.
Sometimes it gets like that.
But it's real. Like, that's the thing. You got to understand a lot of these competitors, it's real. It's so real. And I mean, you built it that way.
Yeah, man. Like, you got cousins leaving each other to play on separate teams, and they're like not talking to each other about it.
Wow.
They found out in the chat that he's leaving. Best friends taking players that they recruited from each other. Like, I've done it. Like, people who are in your wedding, you're like, nah, you can't play for me. That's how serious it is. They have to go play for make another team, choose another, go somewhere else because you're just not good enough to play on this team.
It's real.
Yeah, man.
Real.
Yeah.
So Midnight Madness, talk to me about. I've competed in it. I had a blast. It starts late.
Registrations usually starts around 8, 9 o'clock. Yes.
On a Saturday,
on
right?
A Saturday.
On a Saturday where you could be choosing to go outside, partying, dancing, drinking, and all that. But instead, at 2 a.m., instead of leaving the bar, you're leaving a sports complex.
Exactly. It was born out of necessity. We were coming out of COVID. There was no flag football being able to be played. And as soon as everyone came out of COVID, of course, every location, all the kids booked up all the time for all the indoor locations. Mm-hmm. It was still cold out when they let everyone come back out for sports. I called, shout out to Riverfront Sports. Thank you guys for always having us. I called them and I was like, hey, anytime available Saturday? Like, no, we don't have any time available. We only have time from like 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay. I hung up the phone and I was like, I can have a night tournament. And I was talking it over with somebody, guys in the truck. We were talking about it. I'm like, these guys go out and party all night. You don't go to the club till about 10, 11 o'clock. You don't leave the house till 10, 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. You get to the club, you party till 2, depending if you live in the city or whatever. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We go get something to eat, 5 o'clock. You're home 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there.
2 hours later, they're on the football field on Sunday morning. I've done it, man. It's fucking horrific. I remember I'm like, what am I doing right now?
Right?
Holy shit.
So, we get a DJ. We get food. You know what I mean? We keep the environment, we keep it juiced the whole time. Megaphones going, speakers are bumping, getting everybody excited, man, because you got to keep that juice going when it's that late, and it was, like I said, born out of necessity. They were like, you want to do what? I'm like, yeah, I want to rent time from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, yeah, we've never done that before. I'm like, I know. So I'm trying to give you an extra revenue stream. I know. Like, All I need for you guys is to open the door and lock the door.
Yep.
I don't need anything else from you guys. I have my own pylons. All I need is that green grass, and for you to open that door and lock the door when you leave, and I'll happily pay you. And they were like, "That's it. Just need a person to look after it. That's it." And they're like, "Okay, let's try it out." Fast forward years later, we do it every year. It's an annual thing, and we love it, man. It's something I'll do every. Mark Brown hates it. This is where he hates it because he messes up. He says it messes up my sleep schedule for a week and a half every year. So I can't get my sleep schedule right because of this stupid tournament. This year we wanted more numbers. We ended up having I think it was maybe 12 teams, but we would have had more. But it snowed. It ended up having a bad snow up here that year, that weekend. And helped some of the teams couldn't make it, but it was still a huge success. Guys had a great time. It was fun. We had a good time. Buffalo chicken bites, they're the best. Shout out Riverfront Sports.
That is the last tournament that I've played in. It's
gotta come back out, man.
Yeah,
come on out.
I tell the boys who my squad, the people I hang out with. I tell them all the time, I am a tournament guy. I'll come out if you need me. Just like you, make the call. I'll come out because, brother, I can't handle that week in, week out, fucking Monday morning soreness, bro.
That's what it is waking up Monday morning and having to go work and having to do that. But it's still better than putting pads on and feeling that way.
Agreed.
So, but no, yeah. Even if not, come on out and just get a plate of food.
Yes, yeah.
Come get some food and relax. Have a drink.
Enjoy the vibes.
Watch these guys. Enjoy these guys act the fool. Watch the new generation, these kids that are flying around. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's what I do. I call it old heads row, retirement row. Anybody over here? I literally have a big desk chair, with cushion, everything. I roll it out of the thing, and I sit it right there. Relax. I'm in the corner.
You always got a little stunt, bro. Always.
Put the megaphone down. We all chilling and we watching. Yo, you ass. You should have caught that. First of all, your flags is trash too. Them old ass Fisher Price flags. Over a megaphone that's this big.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun, bro. It's so much fun. And people know you're joking with them, but you'll hear it in the videos too. If you watch the championships or whatever, you'll even try to antagonize the teams just a little bit to get them fired up. And there's people who will scream, "I'm not listening to you, bro. I'm not listening to you, man.
They know.
I've learned. I'm not listening to you." So
yep, you can't feed into it. I said, I come from a place of football where we talk shit, but we know the limit. And when the ref says, "Okay, that's enough, 72." All right, ref, my bad, ref.
Yeah.
Sorry, ref. My bad. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
When the ref says enough, because you've been around, we tell our refs, let them have fun. They're here to have fun, talk shit. Let them do it. But if you as a ref see that they're getting out of control, take them. I don't care. Flag them. Give them a warning, then flag them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they still got to conduct themselves like men.
That's men.
There's certain words you can't say to other men. There's certain things you can't do. Keep your hands to yourself. You know it. A season is 10 games. You fight in my league, you get 8 games. So fight if you want, but you just won't play. It's okay. It's 1 + 1 = 2. Mm-hmm. Now just like in the NFL, there is an appeal process.
Oh, no shit.
You can appeal your suspension. If you can bring us information or if have other videos, different angles than what we don't already have and whatever, then we will look at it. If we may feel that maybe it's not as egregious as whatever, we're starting at 8, baby. Let's know that. Your number is at 8.
Yeah.
Let's see how maybe we'll work it down.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
But you're going to lose your season. A lot of your season for fighting. You're going to throw punches and all that. We're not having it here because you lose. That's how you lose things that you're growing. You can't have that. So
yeah, you want to have that positive experience.
We want family,
positive aura.
Family as much as we can. Everybody feeling comfortable. Everybody bringing mom and dad, uncles. Like I said, I got my father out there. I have my father out there every Sunday. So if my father needs to be safe, I want to make my father feel like he's safe. You know what I mean? So we have, like you said, we have fostered an environment where people can enjoy themselves, push that line, and because of certain people who are there, when we say relax, for the most part, relax. Knock on wood, no issues last season. Nothing crazy happened at
Right.
all. Nothing out of the ordinary. And it's been like that for a little bit now.
Well, I hope to see it continue to grow. I plan on making my way out there this season just to hang
You're
out,
always
chat
family,
with you, man.
bro. Gotta come
Because
out.
I enjoy the tournaments. I enjoy the presence of everyone, and just to see everyone again.
Yeah, man.
It's like no love lost, bro.
It's
It's
always
like, yo,
family.
what's up with you?
Yo,
man?
how you been? Where you been at, bro?
Yeah.
It's always going to be that way.
And they always remember you just as you left them. Okay, so remember that. All right.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's right. You was supposed to be that guy. I remember when he got you. I
Uh-huh.
remember when you. Oh, okay. That's exactly how it is. It's like going back to the block. We always say
Real
that.
shit.
It's like going back to the where you grew up with your old friends, and it's never changed. The block is still there. The corner's still right there. The corner store that you got, your favorite drink is still there. They still sell that Arizona. You know what I mean? That's what we like. We love that, and that is the most important thing is that feeling.
Well, Jada, Prez, it's been a pleasure, bro.
Always, man.
Thank you very much for coming out. This show
Anytime,
was
man.
long overdue. It was easy. I knew we would have a wonderful conversation, bro. It was a blast. But before we get off the air, I like to give the floor to my guests. If there's anything that you want to say to the people watching at home, the time is now, and then we'll go ahead and sign out.
Yeah, man. Again, shout out to you, man. Shout out to everything that you guys have going on. I love to see young men doing dope shit. If you feel like I was telling you before, if you're gonna do something, do it your way. Do it the way you feel. If you're gonna fail going 110%. For a football, situation, if you're gonna make a mistake, make an aggressive mistake. You know what I mean? But shout out to you guys and everything that you guys got going on. Everybody, just follow the XFFL, man. Follow the XFFL Productions. Demetri Thompson on everything on all social media. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Show some love, show some support. Follow all of our stuff on YouTube, all that good stuff. I hate telling people to do it, all that. I hate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. But I know you have to do it. That's the old head in me. But show love. That's all we ask. Come check out the videos. If you haven't heard about flag football, you need to get on the wave now. The NFL literally has it as their all-star game.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's 2028. It's an Olympic sport. My knock on wood, I'll be walking in there. That's my dream. That is literally my
That'd be
dream.
gangster, bro.
Is I want to be, no matter some sort of way, I want to be part of walking into that arena that day. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna be videotaping something. I hope, or having the XFL Productions crew there, hopefully. But it's good to dream, and that was once I started the video stuff. That was one of the biggest dreams I've had. So still, that's the one I'm holding on to.
Well,
Gotta get that done.
I hope you get there, man. I hope you
so,
get
too.
there. You know how they had like the Team USA and they were all on that boat?
Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully you're on that boat.
I'm trying, man. I'll drive it.
Representing
I'll
the
drive
flag.
the boat. You know what I mean? I don't care. Just give me I just want the polo outfit that they get. You know what I mean?
And the most important thing is if you think you could play, find out how to become just submit, bro. Become a free agent. Like there are people looking for players all the
Always.
time, and try to league out. It's for big boys. Make sure you come ready.
This
ain't no soft shit.
No, not at all, man. All positions, all sizes, all shapes, all colors, all whatever. Everybody is welcome, man. Come on out. Try it out. XFFL, you just type those letters in and you will get us and on anything that you can dream of. I've done it.
Hard.
Yeah, it's not hard to find us. Yeah. And come on out. Even if you don't want to play the first time, come on out and chill and relax.
Agreed.
Enjoy yourself.
And with that being said, everyone, I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez, signing out. Peace.